Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Rebecca Nadelka, your realtor mom, and today's episode is going to be a little bit different, but really important. My guest today is Adolfo, who is a business owner and consultant who works with branding, marketing, and AI. So what I love is how he always brings it back to the people and not the technology. And obviously, we're all hearing a lot about AI these days, so who better than Adolfo to get that conversation going? So welcome.
Hi there. Thank you, Rebecca, for having me here as a guest. Hi, everyone. I'm Adolfo Polanco with Banana Blueprint, an online identity management and consulting firm where we do AI integrations and custom software development. So yes, Rebecca, AI is a huge topic in these days, especially on Realty and basically everywhere. Agents asking, is AI going to replace me? Basically every industry everywhere is asking about that. So I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. So jumping in, people often hear the word branding. And I don't know that everybody really knows what branding is. So can you tell us what branding actually means for a business owner?
Absolutely. So imagine branding being the essence of an identity. It is how people feel when they see a brand. It is the experience that they get off of it. Normally people think that branding is just having like your logo, having a set of colors, but this is beyond that. It's basically like the narrative that your brand has. That is branding.
Gotcha. So when I first met you guys, I thought I had branding, and
Yikes.
I was clearly mistaken on what branding actually was. So can you tell me, along with myself, what most people misunderstand about branding?
Yes, like I said, I think a lot of people assume that just having like a logo and basically that. Most business owners that I meet, they think that just having a logo is the only thing that you need and a website, and that makes you already good for your brand, which it's in a way like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it was. If you had a website and your logo, that was sufficient for you to be able to look like established. Right now, we're in a different era where it is more accessible to you to get good branding for your entity or your business. For instance, you can create a logo yourself with ChatGPT very easily. You can get a lot of things in aesthetics for your brand incredibly easily. So right now is more of competition. You have to compete basically with other people that also have these tools available. So now what I do notice is that a lot of people that are in the older spectrum of age are the ones that struggle the most with this because they're the ones that don't really know that technology. Here, Rebecca Nadelka, when we met her, she was in a very rough place. Basically, another business was owning her entire brand, which is something that in our company, we think that is not something morally good. Nobody should own anybody's identity. That doesn't make any sense. So being able to provide to Rebecca her own brand and her own narrative for herself, I think that opened her eyes a little bit more, I hope. And also, I think she started noticing how important it is to take care of your image, which is something that at first a lot of people don't do. A lot of people don't think that investing in your image is something important, which is something that you heavily do, which is something that I admire from her. Especially in your industry, being a realtor is heavily important for you to focus on your image. If you want to be successful in realty and nobody knows who you are or nobody can find anything for you of who you are online, basically you don't exist. So we are seeing right now that a lot of new agents, for instance, are using heavily social media like TikTok, Facebook Reels, YouTube, and they're being successful with this. And it's all tying back to owning your brand and owning your identity. Because once you own your brand and your identity, you know who you are as a business or as a realtor or just an entity as it is. You would be able to more easily know what to do, for instance, online. I would know how to upload a video or what to talk about. And that is, like I said, people that are usually on the other spectrum of age. I would say
He's calling us old people.
not really. No. So I would say like Gen X and older are the ones that are kind of unfortunately getting left behind because of basically the evolution of technology.
Yeah, and I think when you guys first came into my office, I was in the process of trying to switch out from what I was using because, like you said, they owned my brand. I had nothing but my logo, and
Ugly logo.
it was.
I'm going to show you right now so you can see it. This is her old logo, and this is her new logo, so you can see it. Ugly, right?
All right, I wouldn't say ugly. It might not have been quite like it is now. You couldn't tell what I was doing.
She stole it from another realtor.
I did
I'm
not
gonna say that. She stole a logo from another realtor.
Definitely didn't. In real estate we share, but I borrowed her idea and had a company make my own. And I mean, yeah, it
Actually,
was.
who did your old logo? It was the other company.
We're not allowed to say that name.
Oh. We're not going to say
We're not going to say it.
We're not going to say I'm going to bleep it out. I'm going to bleep it out, and I'm going to put a black thing here in my mouth so nobody knows who I'm talking about. No, but to be honest, the CEO of the company did manage everything well, even afterwards. Like, I'm that changed my perspective from what he is. I still think that his company is kind of shady, and I'm talking to you if you're seeing this video. It's not her, it's me talking to you. I'm calling you out. Resources. Well, anyways.
I just didn't own it, and that was the hard part. And learning that you spend a lot of money in your branding because you have to invest in it to get your footprint in the market. There are so many realtors, and having your own space has made a difference. And I give you a hard time a lot of times because that's what I'm supposed to do.
Exactly.
But I definitely appreciate the branding that you've set up for me and we've created. So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
So
much.
If somebody doesn't have a big business, why would branding be important for them?
It is heavily important for them, especially for a new developing business. You have to basically shine the most out of your competition. So here's an advice for you. If you are thinking about being an entrepreneur, you're thinking about creating your own business, or you already have created your own business, you're in that process, use ChatGPT. Literally tell it, hey, this is me, this is my business, and I want you to be my marketing and branding agent, and create a brand with this tool, because it is $20 a month and you can do it. It is not going to be to the highest quality, of course, but you're going to have something, and that something is just going to change completely the game for you, because you're going to look more established versus someone that doesn't have something well set up. Like, let's say they just have a logo and a very generic website. That doesn't provide you really with a lot of value. So if you are, let's say, a new agent and you want to be different from all the multitude of people that are trying to be a realtor, you have to do that. You have to utilize the tools that you now have available, such as something as simple as ChatGPT, which you don't even have to pay to get like one image and brand guidelines, you know? And if you think that this is too difficult, let's say that you are over 40 years old and you're like, I don't get technology, you don't even have to type it. There is a microphone icon. You just click that and talk to it, and it's going to literally talk to you back. So there is no excuse right now for you to not have a well-established brand guidelines or just a normal logo.
Right. So for agents, I can tell you that I took a training, and there's a set of criteria that you could put into ChatGPT and create your voice and your your brand and all of that in ChatGPT. So that's very valuable. If you're an agent and you are interested in this information, feel free to reach out to me and I am happy to share it, because at EXP, we always feel about collaboration over competition. So whether you're with EXP or not and you want to reach out, I can give you that script to kind of help create your voice within ChatGPT. So then when you ask them questions, it is going to look like your brand, because branding is a first impression and it's super important. We all know that first impressions matter. So basically, to put it simply, your branding is the first impression that people get before they even actually talk to you. Correct. So if you look well branded, you might get the phone call that you might not have otherwise for the person that's not branded.
Correct, 100%.
So let's move on to marketing, what people get wrong. I think I was getting this wrong. Even though my business was successful, the money that I was investing wasn't effective. So when I moved over and had you guys take over my marketing, I started getting it right. Mm-hmm. So what do you see people getting wrong when it comes to marketing?
Well, first off, the first thing that I noticed with basically, I would say 90% of people that are using your social media is that they are being loud. They're posting as much as they can. They just try to be active. And in this era, you should not be loud. You should have a clear, concise message that you want to say. And this is where a narrative that I was mentioning before comes very handy. And if you don't have a purpose of saying anything, you should not say it. Why? Because me as a viewer, I'm going to look at something, and this is very random. How is this helpful for me? Now, let's say you're a realtor and you're just posting incredibly random stuff, which is one of the things that a lot of agencies for realtors, they're a niche for realtors, do that. They have an automatic schedule with a single, like a very generic picture that they're going to post for you, just for you to be active, because people don't know what it means to be active on social media. So they think, and there's this big assumption that to have good marketing on social media, you have to be very active and post a lot of things. And that is the first, I would say, myth with marketing, which is totally a lie. You have to have 100% quality over quantity. So to have good marketing on social media, you have to have a message. You have to have something to say and a purpose for every post that you make. For instance, when we first met Rebecca, she had, I would say, like 400 posts already on Instagram. And I'm going to take Instagram for an example. And it was just generic stuff, like things that didn't make any sense, like happy green baseball cap day. And I'm like, what the hell is that even supposed to be for, you know? And one of the biggest shifts that you can see from before and after Banana Blueprint, our company, being in working with Rebecca, is the shift in the narrative. You can immediately see the brand colors in every single post. You can immediately see that there's a purpose behind every post. And that will be basically the biggest misconception a lot of people have with marketing.
Yeah, I think a lot of that's because as a whole, we hear you just have to be posting. You have to stay consistent. And so I'm going to be honest, back when I first started, I had some auto posting happening for real estate things.
And when did you start being a realtor, or what year?
2020.
2020 you started. And then when was it that you hit Icon?
So I moved to EXP that's when that became available in 2022.
Oh, so it was a new thing that they implemented on?
So I didn't start with EXP. So for my first 18 months, I was with another brokerage. I moved over to EXP in March of 2022. That's when EXP has the Icon Award, and I got that my first year with EXP.
Year. So for those who don't know, Icon means being top.
It's a top production award.
How percentage?
So
what percentage do you have to be?
You have to cap, and then once you cap,
What does it mean, capping?
So with any brokerage, you have a certain dollar amount, EXP at $16,000, that of each of your transactions, there's a split. EXP happens to be an 80-20 split. So 20% of every commission goes towards EXP. Once that 20% grows to 16,000, I'm capped. And then I start getting all of my commission minus a few small fees that we pay for our insurance and things like that. To Icon, you have to hit the $16,000 cap and then sell at least another 20 transactions to 20 to 21 transactions. And so once you hit that, you're considered Icon. And then we get the $16,000 in cap comes back to us in the form of stock. So it's a pretty high level. And then, EXP has some other awesome awards that come along after that took me some time to achieve. But
so you would say that one of the most important things for a realtor is basically getting with a good brokerage.
Absolutely.
Like not just saying EXP, like I know we're in an EXP platform right now, but I would say that look for the benefits and compare before you join a brokerage. For my experience, for what I've got from an outsider, it seems like EXP is like a good brokerage so far. It doesn't seem very scammy, I would say.
Definitely not scammy. And I know, EXP has been, I don't want to say put down, but like some people they just can't believe that it's a real thing. There's got to be a catch. And honestly, what I love the most about EXP is the fact that they are truly not only agent focused, but they're consumer focused. They are always the first one implementing things that benefit the consumer first. Our job as realtors is consumer first. We're supposed to put the consumer at the top of everything. And EXP is all about the consumer, just the clear cooperation, things like that is super, super important to EXP. And then because they do that, they then take care of their agents too. And so, yeah, EXP is the best brokerage. People are trying to copy EXP and they're like, oh, we've got it better. But what's cool is EXP is always one step ahead towards the next best thing for agents. So yes, there are some brokerages out there that have copied EXP's model, but EXP is still a step ahead.
So then I take it back, join EXP if you're a realtor.
And then you get to work with me. And if you join with me, I might have a cool marketing company that I work with that knows about branding. So back to the marketing and the online, why is it that some people don't get results with what they're posting? Like obviously when I was posting initially, I wasn't getting any results. I'm not the technology person, so he could be lying to me and telling me my results are great, and I really probably wouldn't know otherwise.
I could.
But I feel like I'm starting to get the results that are paying off from the marketing and posting that I've been doing.
Correct. So going first to the question that you asked, what to do if you're posting and it's not effective. Let's say that you're following my advice and you use ChatGPT to create your brand. You have a cool logo that you like. You have brand guidelines and you're using these brand guidelines throughout all your social media platform. This being, let's say that, I'm going to take Rebecca as an example. Let's say she's wearing blue right now, right? Her brand colors are blue.
I didn't even realize that.
If you go to her Instagram, for instance, you're going to see that blue is everywhere. If you go to Starbucks, you're going to notice that green is going to be everywhere. So, or right here, look, blue everywhere. Why? Because that is basically the cohesion of having the brand guidelines and having good marketing and branding together. Now, let's say you're doing that and you're not getting any results. Now, let's see, how long have you been doing that for? If you've been doing that for a month or 2 months, yes, you cannot get results that easy. You have to basically fall into an algorithm depending on the social media that you're using. Once that you fall into that algorithm, then you're going to start seeing more and more people seeing your stuff. Also, the hashtags. Are you using the proper hashtags for the posts that you're making, and what type of posts are you making. The more successful post right now in 2025, December 18, is Reels. You have to be making Reels, videos. People, like if I open any social media and I open a new account, the first thing that I'm going to see probably is going to be a Reel. It's not going to be a picture or a static picture. So if you're not making Reels, that's something that you should be considering doing. And let's say that you're a person, you're like, I don't like to be on camera. I don't like to talk. I don't feel confident to do that stuff, which it was Rebecca at the very beginning. She was like, I don't want to do it.
I mean, I'm still not always super comfortable.
Whatever. So if you're that type of person, then you should start considering hiring someone to do that for you, or you start looking into the AI avatars that you can basically pay for an avatar to talk and do that for you. But you have to start doing Reels. If you're not doing Reels and you're just posting static pictures, you're not going to be successful. Unless it's memes. If it's like memes, then yeah, you might, but come on, like nobody's going to grow their brand just with memes, especially if it's business.
So I feel like, and this is more my opinion, you said if you're not comfortable, then hire somebody else to be on your videos or pay for an avatar. So for me, on the consumer side of things, to me, that's not real. Like, I'd rather see somebody themselves. If I'm going to meet somebody and the person that I watched in the video is somebody different than that I'm seeing in person, I'm going to be like, wait, what? This isn't who I was watching. So it's going to make me question. So like from my perspective, it's better to be uncomfortable and be on video yourself. That's just, and I'm cheap. I don't want to spend money on an avatar when I could suck it up and do it myself.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree with this, but no, we have to.
It's better than nothing.
100% too. And you have to understand that you are a realtor. For a realtor, this is completely different. For a realtor, you should be doing videos yourself. If you're not doing videos yourself, I don't want to say you're stupid, but I'm saying you're stupid. Because what are you doing? Unless you're getting so many calls a day that you don't need to do marketing and branding and all. You don't have to market yourself off. Excellent. You don't need it, right? But I'm going to say this. It's going to pass a year, 2 years, and somebody that is using these tools is going to start getting all your clients. And then you're going to be in a position in which you're going to need basically to do these things. So now for a realtor, yeah, I wouldn't recommend an AI avatar. Although this might help you too in the future. Technology is advancing very quickly, and I can just scan, like let's say, scan Rebecca's face, and we could technically do videos like that, where the AI basically, so I can dumb it down as much as I can. The AI analyzes your face, and then it makes videos for you, and it knows your voice. So we're getting to a point where you're not going to even need to train yourself with that. Although I don't know what is going to happen with that. I don't know in a year or 2 years how everything is going to go with AI regulation, especially in video creation, because it can be very dangerous. That is like a hot topic right now. Like,
interesting.
What is going to happen with if somebody creates or shows someone a video of me doing something illegal, right? And then it goes to court. What happens there? So those are conversations that need to happen and occur. Absolutely. So yes, the best thing if you're a realtor is train yourself to be comfortable in camera. It's not that difficult, to be honest. I think it's more difficult to talk to a person and go show a house and do all of those things. It is more difficult.
I mean, he can say that, but I think it's easier to talk to a person face to face than be on camera, because on camera you can keep watching it over and over again. Now, I agree. I think it's important. But from a person who he makes do this, it's easier for me to talk in person. I have gotten more comfortable being recorded. However, it's harder for me because people can rewatch it. It's also the advantage. Like, I don't have to sound like a broken record repeating myself over and over again. But we can debate what's easier. Because I'm going with it's easier in person.
I guess to me, it's easier just record something and then see it. And if I don't like it, I can do it again. Versus saying something to a person and then
can't really take it back.
Exactly. So, but anyways, that doesn't really matter. If you're a realtor, do videos. If you are in any other industry, for instance, if you're like a what's it called, like blue collar, any industry that is blue collar, you can be making money right now. Just grab a camera, boom, chest camera, head camera, do whatever you have to do. People love to watch those videos, and you can be making a lot of money with those.
Wow.
And yeah, it's basically that. If you're like a CPA or an accountant or anything like that, you don't really need to do videos yourself. You can have someone else do videos for you, but it really depends. It really depends on what is the industry.
So maybe I'm not hearing this correctly, or maybe I am. So like if you're in, say you're an HVAC technician,
Mm-hmm.
you're saying recording what you're doing?
Yeah.
Do you have to talk while you're doing it?
No,
Just record it? And
There's a big niche on, let's say, power wash. That you see a power wash guy just cleaning an entry for a house, a driveway. Has 3 million views. That is money right there. There's money for you. People doing, I don't know, like mechanics. I've seen mechanics go and do a change of oil for a car. They do it very elegantly. They do it all the time, you know?
I'm about to go change oil in a car. I'll figure it out. Make some money.
You make money this way. And two things. First, you're branding yourself and marketing yourself online. Second thing, you're making money off of this videos online. So this is something that a lot of people, especially blue collar, should consider doing. It is like you may be able to even make more money with these videos than on your actual industry. And of course, you're going to be now trapped into continue doing it, you know, because that's your content, but you're going to be making way more money.
Interesting. Very cool. So what actually builds trust online? So people are filming videos, we're doing podcasting. I record different videos for different things. What's going to help build that trust so people want to, obviously you've got to make money by just recording, but for me, I'm trying to build reputation and, win clients and things like that. How is that trust built?
For a realtor, well, it would be basically for anyone really, is consistency plus authenticity. If you're not authentic online and you're like forcing yourself to say things that you don't believe, it is noticeable. The humans really do notice patterns even though you don't acknowledge them. So if you're not being authentic, people not really would be able to know and say, oh, he's not being authentic, but their subconscious is going to capture that. And you're just going to feel off about that person. So always be authentic with everything you're saying and be consistent. I would say is how you build trust with, I would say, anybody. That's just normal trust. If you meet someone and you're consistent with them and you're authentic with everything you say, they're just going to start trusting you. Of course, if you're mischievous and you're evil with them but authentic, they might not trust you, but at least they're going to know that you're honest. And honesty is what I think wins any human here on earth. Once you notice that there's someone being honest, you know that you can put your guard down with them.
And building trust for me in real estate is huge. I mean, we're talking their largest purchase most likely in a lifetime is going to be that home. Exactly. Or selling their biggest asset. So trust is definitely super important. And I do think getting the video, as much as I resisted, it gives a human level to it so that trust starts building when they start seeing the videos.
Correct. And especially if you're a realtor and let's say I want to buy a house in, I'm going to take an example where we live, Streetsboro. So I will go realtors in Streetsboro and I'm going to see about 5, 6, 7, 10 realtors. And normally people do this. You just click on the profile, they go to their social media or they go to their website. They just want to see who they're dealing with. And if you go to a platform from a realtor and it's very generic, you cannot really connect with it, you're going to go on to the next one. So as you can see with Rebecca, she has a well-established brand presence. You go to her social media, she's active. You're going to be that she's posted a story. You can see that what she's doing in that day. You can see that she posts things when she's going, let's say, with her daughter to do any type of event. You can connect more with the person that you're seeing. And this is crucial for realtors because a realtor is your image is what you're technically selling, your image and your expertise. And people is not going to trust you if you have like a very bad brand presence, or they cannot really connect to you through social media. You don't have to be doing, if you're a realtor, you don't have to do TikTok or all of those things. Just have a well-established Instagram and Facebook. That's what I will be saying for realtors.
So I can attest to this because I did not legitimately do videos really before I hired you guys to start helping really what I thought was my brand, building it, but we started over. And since then, I have had people flat out tell me, because I ask if I don't know them and they didn't come through, a platform that I'm aware of that popped into my CRM. I'll ask, where did you get my contact information? And I can't tell you, in the last 6 months, there have probably been a handful that have said, well, on social media and Google, like I Googled you and I can see you're definitely online. And, it made me feel like, okay, well, maybe what I'm paying for really is working and they're not just robbing me blind like the last company did. So I'm kidding. Obviously what you're doing is definitely helping is what I'm saying.
But
like
what you're saying, and that fear that you have is something that everybody should have. It is industry standard to basically have these type of contracts in which, like I mentioned earlier, someone else owns everything that you have. Let me be clear with that. Your website, your logo, the colors, the brand and identity that you try to own and embrace as yours, someone else is owning that. And the moment you stop working with them, they take all of that. So before you start working with any company, be sure that once services end, where if anything happens, you own your brand. And if they say, no, that is not how it goes, this is industry standard, say, F you, that is not industry standard. Show them this video and give us a call, and I'll talk to them, because that is stupid. That is just a trap. It's a way they have it to trap people. It's basically a scam.
And it feels like you can't get out.
Exactly.
Because then what? Now you're back to square one with all the money you've put into it. And I can say as a business owner, being in real estate, but any business really, the fear is where you're putting your money. And I will say I've wasted a lot of money on different things, because when you get in, nobody really gives you a procedure for spending your money on what to spend it on. But investing in my marketing the right way has probably been one of the most well spent bills that I have. Like, you always question, am I getting the ROI that I put into it? Like we always are talked about, what's the ROI? You've got to have the ROI. What is that? It's not necessarily something that I can put an exact number to, but I know without it that these certain transactions didn't happen, and it is going to take time. It's also not overnight. Like you mentioned that earlier. It doesn't just boom happen. You've got to build it.
Correct. Consistency and authenticity is what you have to do to be successful online. Now, something that is also helping realtors is if you're an established person with established online presence, you are bound to get higher number of houses to sell, basically. A person that is wanting to buy a house that is $1 million, they're not going to trust someone that has no online presence at all. They're going to go with that person that looks the most established. In this case, I know that you had a high number value house, right? And I'm pretty sure if they never went into it, if you didn't have that social media, I don't think they would have gone with you. I think they would have gone with the next person that has the best social media around, because it's something that right now is kind of the standard to see, okay, how professional is this person? How established they are, how for real they are. Mm-hmm. So it is a heavy thing right now, having social media.
And if you're a realtor and you're especially looking to get into like luxury, you definitely, and I'm not even considered a luxury agent, but if you want those high dollar houses and properties to sell, you definitely want to be social media present and have a good image online.
Yeah, you definitely need a good social media and marketing agency. There's a lot of them. There, like I would say, if you're a new agent and you're starting to get money, the best thing to do, get like a solopreneur, someone that is not as big as the niche agencies. Why? Because they're gonna care more for you. You're gonna be able to call them immediately instead of an agency and getting someone random to work on your brand every time, and they can grow with you. Mm-hmm. So, and also you can be more specific with the request. You can have a better relationship if you have an agency that is not as big or as I would say not established but generic. The thing is that some agencies, when they get to a certain point, they start getting generic, very generic. They basically copy paste.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where I was at. It was a bigger company, but I never knew who was actually creating the marketing, and it was absolutely copy paste. Take this house out, copy my MLS description, do this, and slap it on a postcard or slap it on a flyer. Or, I feel like every agent that worked with them probably had very similar marketing.
They did. We did research.
So, yeah. All right. Well, so we touched on it a little bit, but I want to kind of dive into AI a little bit more, just because AI is at the forefront of everything. So with everyone hearing about it, a lot of people are scared, confused, not really sure what to make of it. Where does AI really fit in with our marketing and things like that? Like, how are we best able to use it?
So in marketing and branding, I already mentioned the best ways of use for social media and knowing your brand and all of that. But also remember that AI is a tool. Mm-hmm. Imagine AI, like I always mention this when I'm explaining to someone, like GPT is like a calculator. A calculator has an input and an output. When you type, the input is the numbers or the equation, and then the output is the solution for that equation. In this case, a input will be the prompt or what I'm requesting, the words, and the output is going to be whatever it gives me, be it an image or a response to my prompt. So use it that way. You should be using it for mostly, I would say right now, everything that you don't know. Basically, if you're not an expert in something, you're going to dive into that. Let's say that you want to go into commercial. You don't know nothing about it.
Right.
You would just ask, hey, I am a what is it, normal residential realtor, and I want to try commercial realty. What are the best things that I can do to make that transition or try it out without losing clients or my energy on residential realty, or however you want to ask, right? And you're going to have now steps on how to basically use this tool into your advantage. Now, for people that are scared of it, you should be scared of it. It is a scary thing, and you should be advocating right now for AI safety and regulations, because at the point we are is that there is no stop for AI right now. Any company, be it OpenAI or Google or Microsoft or NVIDIA, they can put a data center anywhere they want and affect any ecosystem and affect whatever they want to do without regulations. Also, privacy on the world basically is diminishing. We are going to get to a point where there's no privacy at all.
Ooh.
And those are things that we need to stop as a society. But I think that is going a little bit far from what we're talking about.
So we're all hoping for some regulations just to make sure our safety and what we're putting out there.
Privacy, especially privacy.
Yeah.
Because it is a delicate topic. Like I've seen awful things like people do with AI with kids. I'm not going to go any further. But those things are happening because it can happen. It's an option.
Right. What's cool, and I sometimes forget. I use it, but sometimes I forget that it's there. And it's what's crazy. And I just did this yesterday. So I went to the doctor, and, they send you back all your details of your blood work and whatever. And I don't know what it all means. I literally copied and pasted the results of my blood work and dumped it into ChatGPT and said, tell me what this means in human terms. And they really broke it down. And from that, ultimately created a menu for me, a picky eater, for 2 weeks where I can have these, like this would be, and it's all things I like, and it gives you ideas. And so like I would have never thought of using it that way, but AI is really there in anything that you can think of, and it analyzes, and then you can go back and try to fact check it. And I mean, you do have to make sure that it's spitting out right information, but I feel it's pretty good.
It is very accurate, and you should always verify and fact check any response, especially if it's something like medical, because all it knows is basically everything that is online and everything that it has been trained to know.
Right.
So that is a very clever way to use it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like one of those like, I don't know what this means. And I was like, ChatGPT is going to tell me. And it was great because it told me that things weren't as bad as in my head. When I saw it, I was like, oh my God, I'm dying. And ChatGPT made me feel better.
Yeah, kind of sad.
Yeah.
Quick story, call Rebecca, and she's like, hi, I'm okay. Nothing happened. What happened, Rebecca? No, nothing. I just went to the doctor. Some bad news. You were very sad.
I mean, you see medical results that aren't great, and I'm not a doctor. I don't know necessarily what it always means. And yeah, it gets concerning at times. Like, I mean, I know you probably think I'm like 25, but really I'm not.
36. Can you believe that?
Right. I wish. But yeah, so ChatGPT is great for just everybody, in my opinion. I think everybody should start diving into it. But how can business owners, because that's what we're here for, is business owners, how can they dive into it without feeling super overwhelmed? Like, is there a starting point? I know I can help people set up their brand and voice in ChatGPT as a business owner realtor. But what can they do to like think about it without feeling super overwhelmed?
So the first thing I would say is use it to understand it. As simple as that. Let's go again with ChatGPT, because right now there's so many chatbots that you can use, but ChatGPT, it is the most common one. If you don't know nothing about it at all, and you have a phone and you haven't used AI at all, you're going to go and look for ChatGPT or Gemini or Perplexity or any of them. You're going to download it, and then you're going to open it. You're going to see that you're going to be able to talk to and speak. You're going to say, hey, I don't know how to use this thing. Can you help me use ChatGPT? And it's going to tell you. As simple as that. Right now, we're in a place where you can ask it about anything. I don't know how to cook. It is going to teach you. I don't know how to change my tire. It is going to teach you. I don't know how to create a good strategy for my business. It is going to teach you. I don't know how to increase revenue in my business. It's going to tell you how. I don't know how to create a roadmap to a goal that I have. Guess what?
It's going to do it.
Is going to do that for you. Now, is it going to be accurate? Yes, it's going to be very accurate. The more context that you give to it, the better it's going to work. So I would say, if you're going to do something, let's say for your business, like a roadmap for a goal that you have. Let's take Rebecca, for instance. Let's say that Rebecca wants to get to a place where she has an office space, triple the space that she has right now. So we will go, okay, what are the things needed for that? And then you're going to start looking, what are the things needed to get this? Oh, it's revenue. Okay, so how do we increase revenue? What are the ways that we can increase revenue? We look for those solutions. And you do all of it. You can do all of this with ChatGPT, but you also have to put your effort and your mind, and you have to also give the context of what is your position right now. Like how much money you're making right now, how many clients are you seeing a day, how many X, Y, and Z, and explain as much as you can, and then you're going to have a more formulated roadmap to complete that goal. So right now, there is no excuse for anybody not using these tools. Like, there is really no excuse. And if you're not using it, is because you're being egotistical, and you're being selfish, and you're being, I don't know, I really don't know. Like, there is no really a way for you to say no to this unless of your morale.
I don't know. I think some people probably too think it's more complicated than it really is. You can literally type in a question and it starts spitting out. And then after it answers it, it even prompts you, do you want to know about this with regard, like, so it's super easy. And I don't know that everybody is egotistical, but I think some people think it's a lot more complicated than it really is.
Yeah. And also a lot of people,
Lack of knowledge.
They do have like I don't know, like a block in their head. Like,
yeah,
they just stubborn with the way they are.
Stubborn.
And that to me it comes from the ego. So.
Okay, that's fair.
Do you want to fight right now?
We can fight. I could kick you in the shin. I tell you that once or twice.
She has kicked me in the shin once.
I have not kicked you in the shin.
It's not on video. It's not on video.
Didn't happen. If it's not on video, it didn't happen.
True.
All right. So AI, marketing, branding. Why does this all matter so much in real estate? Because I'm in real estate and I want to make sure realtors, those thinking about becoming realtors, have this information. So why is this so important for a realtor?
If you want to grow and make money, that's why it's important. If you're not using these tools, like I said, and like you probably heard somewhere else, AI is not going to replace you, but someone using these tools will. And that is true. It's happening right now. So also, it's not like a very complicated thing. At the end of the day, this is to help you, and it's for your benefit. So you don't have to use it if you don't want to, but it's going to heavily help you. Like, I don't win anything at all if I give you an advice for you to start using ChatGPT. Like, I make zero money off of that advice. It is really more towards you to know what tools you have available and at least have a vision of how you can use these tools. Because I think once people know what things you can do with it, they're more prompt to trying to utilizing these tools.
I definitely took me a minute to get into it, but now it's like I go to it for everything. Obviously, my medical reports.
It can also roast you, right?
Right, it roasted me once. It was kind of funny. There's so many things that the more you use it, the more it gets to know you, and it's good for a laugh for sure.
Yeah.
But for buyers and sellers, what does branding and how does it bring clarity for buyers and sellers in real estate?
So for a buyer, marketing branding doesn't really affect them, but for a seller, definitely it does. If you're selling your house, you're going to want to have good pictures. You're going to want to have a good person representing you for that sale, and in this case, a realtor. Now that I know more about this realm of this industry of realty, I do think that it's very important for you to get a realtor if you want to sell a house. It's just going to be so much easier for you and
more exposure.
Yeah, and you could technically, as a seller and buyer, just use AI, but you're not gonna. It's not gonna be as efficient as you think it will. It's like using ChatGPT to be your attorney when you go to a court case or something like that. You know, yes, technically you can use it, but it's not going to be as efficient as you think it will. I would say this: AI is not to that level yet. It might get to that level in 5, 10 years, 15 years, maybe. Who knows? But right now, at this era, this time, again, in December of 2025, I don't think you should be using AI to do something like you were saying, a big transaction as buying your first house or buying a house, such a big asset, or selling your house. So for sellers, I would say, if you're not going to get a realtor, use it to at least understand how to best market your house. For a buyer, I would use it to help you find a realtor. Yes.
So if agents want to build the trust online, which we all want to build trust, how can they do that with the AI, marketing, branding, all of that? Like, what should they focus on?
So if you want to build trust, and again, let's say you want to become an agent, some like Rebecca, where you have already like an established brand, use it for guidance. So you have a direction in where to go. Especially if you're just starting, you have no money. I know it can be very rough paying someone else when you are barely starting. Use it for that. That's a launch pad. and to get you to a place in which you can just hire someone to do that for you, and then you can focus on your job, basically, which is selling houses. So other than that, just for personal use, really, because if you're starting and you don't have that much budget, you have to be using AI.
Gotcha. So we're gonna obviously come into the time where we need to wrap it up. What is the biggest message that you would want people watching this? What's the biggest message you'd want to leave them with?
Okay, so hello Earth, message from me to you. The first thing is, don't tell AI something that you wouldn't tell a stranger. That's a good rule of thumb. If you're very comfortable, like I wouldn't care giving it my blood test, I actually have done that before. I had my appendix removed, and I had like a test results, and I was like, same thing as you. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. Pass it through the GPT, and it's all okay. I'm good and healthy. That's what happened, right? Now, also, I would say that be careful with the things that you post online, especially if you have kids. Do not post kids online. I don't get it. Don't post pictures of your kids. Don't post pictures of your babies. Don't be more private, because I've seen people that post everything of their life online, and if I'm a bad person, I can even create an AI to just analyze everything of your identity. I can know where you live. I can know how much you make. I can know what are the patterns of where you are going, because you're posting everything online. And then I can have a better understanding on how to attack you as a person.
Yeah, so definitely want to be careful.
Yeah, so the only thing I would say is don't post pictures of your kids. Be more private online. And if you want to increase business, be more thorough with what are the things that you're going to post. Be more intentional with the posts that you're going to be making. Don't post just random stuff that nobody cares about, really. And if you are going to do that, just put it on a story. It's going to disappear in 24 hours. I would say that, And lastly, advocate for AI safety and regulations. Personally, our company is going to start doing that. We're going to go into a social media campaign for that. I would say help us with it, at least share it and spread the word, because I think everybody knows how bad it can be.
It can definitely get bad, and you're right. There's predators out there, and keeping yourself and your family safe is number one. And AI, it definitely can, create issues if we're not careful. So, all right, well, everyone, this was such a great conversation with Adolfo today. I hope everyone walks away with some clarity, doesn't feel overwhelmed. Thank you for being here, breaking it down for us regular humans that don't get into all the technology.
I hope you regular humans understand, okay?
Because we're just the regulars. Remember, whether you're building a business, buying a home, clarity and understanding will make it a lot easier and smoother. So I am Rebecca Nadelka, your realtor mom, here to keep it simple, smooth, and sold.
That was authentic, okay?